So we just decided to like turn the camera on and see what happens.
Yeah, so
And the kids are going to bed. Our family isn't as exciting without them.
I know we're not nearly as exciting without the kids running around. Welcome to just after dinner discussions after dinner.
After dinnerman.
Dinner talk. Dessert for dinner.
We're gonna work on that.
So we've been talking about doing a podcast for a long time.
Like since it first came out, podcasting.
Actually, yeah, we have been talking about because we did have a few
Like
podcasts
10 years ago.
all about media and things like that. But this
We
is a
did.
different story altogether.
Well, it's kind of the same story.
Yeah, that's
Of
true.
how we met.
It's just us. Well, that's true actually, but we never told that story before. I don't think.
Very briefly in one of our videos on our YouTube channel.
So
Do you have to look up how we met?
I was gonna see if I had a picture of this.
Oh.
So,
I came out to come to school, kicking and screaming, because
well, let's really quick. Let's give a little preface. So,
Okay.
the whole point of this podcast is to let
this
you guys.
podcast or this episode or the whole thing.
How about you do everything? So start big and go smaller. So what's everything?
Okay, so the whole point of us sitting down here is for you guys to get to know us a little bit more. You know, you see our crazy kids, see our crazy videos, but we figured, you know, if you guys have questions or, oh my gosh, or different things to
You can't really see it. Sorry.
kind of see where we came from, because a lot of people that we're connecting with right now see this. That's going to come across as arrogant, but see this healthy, happy family, which we still have a lot of flaws. I mean, you still see dishes in the sink, things like that, but that's not where we started. Very different from where we started. And so we wanted to share with you guys a little bit more about our journey to where we got, or where we came from to how we got here, and continue then to follow us as we continue to make more family fitness goals and work together. So
And maybe less about following and more about just going along with us, because there's nothing better than having company along the way when you're on a journey. And also, we feel like a podcast is a good way to be able to jump in a little bit deeper. On videos, you're always kind of like in a hurry. You want to make sure you're making a point. We always want to make a point, but a podcast is kind of fun because you can kind of be a little more yourself. I don't know. Let's do it in the car.
long-winded.
We turn the camera on just for fun. This is aimed at an audio podcast, hence the boom mics, because they sound much nicer than a lavalier mic would.
And it just brings us back to our days of being on microphone. Anyway, so I came out here to Utah.
So where are you from, Lori? Where did you come from?
Originally from the East Coast. Went to school in North Carolina, and I got a few scholarships to different schools there, but I really wanted to kind of get away. I wanted to see what else was out. And so I came to Utah, which doesn't quite make sense. But I played softball all through high school. We went to division championships, and I was a fast pitch pitcher. And so fitness and athletics, I always thought was going to be a part of my life. So I actually came out to BYU, and I went into exercise science as my major, and tried out for the BYU softball team and made the practice team as a freshman. So basically, you do all the work, you don't get to play in any of the games, which is what that meant. And that took a lot of time. And I bombed human anatomy that freshman class.
Look, here's us flying to our what's it called? Our reception in New York. I was freezing that day. That's a whole other story. I was freezing. We flew to New York and I was freezing.
And anyway, so I switched my major like 3 times in school, but I really found a love for sports. And it happened when I wanted a job, and
that's when puka shell necklaces were in. You can't see it, but I'm sitting here with a puka shell necklace. It's awesome. Sorry, go ahead.
Started working for the TV crew and worked my way up and really enjoyed it. So I had a application submitted to, or I was gathering for my resume and an application to go to ESPN and work there. And that summer, I met that guy.
It happens.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bridge this by saying that she said she never would live in Utah, much less marry somebody from Provo, which
Let
I
alone
broke.
live like across the street from
I broke both of those.
parents.
No, that's just a happy coincidence that we live pretty darn close to my folks. It's across it's across a couple of streets. Anyway, so I grew up here though, so we're in Provo, and I like it here. We love it here. It's got kind of still that small town feel. But so I'm from here. I grew up just down by the lake in Provo. I went to Provo High, Dixon Middle School, not in that order. Trying to think what else. But I always knew I wanted to be kind of in the media. So my day job is a direct photography is what I like to do. And I get to do all kinds of things with cameras and pictures. And I also edit and I also direct and things like that. But mostly I'm about the image. So I went to... Oh, but at the same time, though, I always felt like I was active. I played basketball every morning growing up. Like, I remember... I'm trying to remember when I started playing because my best friend, Ben Maurice, his dad was playing in the morning with his older brothers with a bunch of people from our area in one of the church buildings. And it was at 6 in the morning and we were, 15, 16. And we're like, that's so early. Which I don't know why because I got up that early anyway to go do stuff. But we go and they were playing. So we would go start playing. And I remember I played basketball from when I was like 15 or 16 up until about, I'm going to say 5 years ago when Andy was born, because that's a whole other story, but I needed to start actually getting exercise because it got to be where you didn't play long enough to get your cardio in. So anyway, I always loved being active. And then I would play basketball. I'd come home and I'd walk with my mom to the lake and back when she would do her walks. But I didn't really know that you could like run for sport. I definitely didn't know anything about lifting. I was not good enough at basketball to be on a team. I was too skinny to be a wrestler. I wasn't tall enough to be in the basketball team. We had a hockey club, and I was pretty good at hockey, but we couldn't really do anything because it was just a club. So anyway, so I kind of stuck with my tech stuff, and I went to UVSC and did multimedia there. Went to BYU after. I went to my mission for 2 years in England. Came back and did another couple years at BYU, and got a comms degree. And we'll tell you that story sometime. But the whole time, played basketball and ran.
Yeah. And the way we met was because I was excited because I was combining my love of fitness with the sports broadcasting. And it was July and we needed an extra camera guy because I was working with this company that was currently shooting music videos for local bands. And one of his friends was actually also somebody who worked at the company. And so we met up 4th of July weekend. And
so the moment of what do they do in the cartoons? Like, I guess it's the arrow, the Cupid's arrow, or like the birds, the birds when you hit on the head, right? That's different.
That's when you hit in the head.
Maybe it's I don't know. I can't remember. I haven't watched enough cartoons lately. Yeah. So Lori said she was working for a company. They needed some extra camera guys, some cameras, and I did not want to work on the holiday. And I was finally
Dude, he was rude on the phone.
To you or to the?
To me. I was the one who called you.
Did you call me?
Yeah. Robbie gave me your number, and you were like,
awesome.
Dude, I just got back from Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, I just moved my sister.
And moving your sister. And you're like, talk to other people.
Yeah, because I did not want to work.
Good luck.
I did not want to work that day. So, long story short, it was like ridiculously cheap as far as like the rate goes. And I was like, oh, fine, I'll do it. So I showed up, and Lori was unloading stuff from her car, and she turned around and I was like, hey, that girl's pretty cute. I wonder if she's with us. And you're like, oh, I'm the director. And I was like, ooh, I get to ask the director out.
And I was like, that summer, I was going to just enjoy. I was going to just enjoy my time.
And I decided
being single.
Not to date.
And so we both were not dating.
Because I had just worked really hard on dating like the last 6 months. And like everybody was like, you're really nice, but I'm going to go on a mission. You're really nice, but I'm 19, or whatever it was. I never got any past the first dates.
But we were talking about Band of Brothers, actually, is the thing that got us together, and he invited me over. Our first date was at his parents' house. watching
It
Band of
wasn't a date.
Brothers.
We were both non-committal, and we were watching the series. And Lori was like, "Hey, I was watching that," and I was like, "Well, do you want to come watch? If you want to, I don't care. It's pizza. It's a movie." And she's like, "Yeah." She does. She thinks was a little more passive than she really was because she was excited to go. She was like, "I can't wait."
Well, I was in my apartment alone
Okay.
the whole entire summer, so to go do something. But anyway, his mom actually asked me to come to the barbecue the next day. He
It's
was
not
doing a
even
barbecue for his friends.
It wasn't even fair.
And his mom said, "Well, hey, what are you doing tomorrow after work?"
It was a student board activity.
Cammon's having a barbecue for his friends. You're more than welcome to come.
And I hadn't gotten there yet. I had not gotten there yet.
So she invited me to his party.
Yeah, but then you came to check out
On
other
the
guys.
way, I was talking to my dad, and I was like, "Dude, he's kind of cute. So we'll have to see what his friends look like too."
But the best man won at the end of the day. All right. Well, we don't want to talk your whole ear off. I mean, we could expand on all the story all times long. All night long.
We met July 2nd, proposed October 3rd, married December.
And that started the amazing adventure that we're on now. And so we've been able to go all through the ups and downs, and we're going to talk about that as long I can talk today, as well as many other things that pertain to what we've learned and weight loss and everything else. But we're almost a minute over what we kind of promised ourselves and you guys, so you wouldn't be wasting your time, which is about 10 minutes. So
I'm going to keep these short and sweet.
we're going to sign off, but we'd like to say thanks for hanging out with us. And again, this is called after dinner talk or something. It's like when you have a barbecue and the grown-ups start talking, and then your kids are like, "What are they talking about?" And I hope they talk for a long time because then they won't notice, and we can keep playing. It's all that talk, it's like talk. So thanks for talking.
Maybe we'll even open this up to like a live thing sometime. We can have
That'd be
a
sweet.
hangout.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Hang out with us.
But anyway, I'm going to go to bed. I'm sorry. I can tell I have a cold. I had a long week last week. I stayed up way too late. And if any of you Fit Dads Club people know, I mean, they all know that I've been complaining about that all week. Not complaining, but.
Yeah. So he's been on the couch.
This week, we have some goals to reorganize our house a little bit as school starts.
In 2 weeks. 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks.
Get better.
Starts. And we're just, really going to zero in on some fitness and nutrition. I keep on having my 4-week appointment so far with the pregnancy. And so we're going to I've just been using that as the milestones. So that's a whole nother story with the whole, unhealthy pregnancy to healthy pregnancy.
That's right.
That's gone. So
not this one, but just in the past. Not this one has been unhealthy to healthy. It's been pretty good, this one.
Yeah.
So anyway.
All right. We'll let you guys go. Put your kids to bed or get ready for the week yourselves. And we'll sign off. And
catch you next week.
All right.
Thanks.